Hello and welcome to ThriftCart. In this video, I want to review the Color Discount Price Point Report. To find this report, in your left-hand menu, select Reports, Point of Sale Reports, and then the Color Discount Price Point Report. You can run this report for multiple store locations or just a single store. I recommend running this report over a date range. This report is to help you assess your pricing strategy at your store to determine if you're pricing within market demand or if you might be able to increase your prices for increased revenue or if you should decrease them so that your product is moving more quickly. Therefore, running it over a 1 month or maybe 3-month time period is probably preferable over running it for a short time period. For the sake of this video, in my demo account, I have rang up some fake sales and will run the report for just a short time period to capture those sales. But again, I recommend in a real application that you would run this for an extended time period. Notice that you can filter the report by parent category. In most cases, this will probably be helpful, as running it for all categories combined may give more data than is really useful to analyze in a given situation. Optionally, you can also ignore sales within certain categories, and then notice that you can unselect, showing sales that have a certain color discount applied. In many cases, you will probably want to include every color discount option in the report. You can have the report sorted by price, or my recommendation is to sort it by quantity sold. Items with the highest quantity of sales are probably those that you want to pay the most attention to your pricing strategy for. There are a few additional options here. The two that I will point out is the option to break out subcategories separately. Otherwise, subcategories are all reported together under their parent category. And you can include to not group by price point, but instead to just group by category. In this case, I do want the report to group by price point, so I will not select that checkbox, and then I'll select the green button to generate report. I have run this report on just a single category, home goods and decor, and what we see here is 4 rows per price point of items that sold within this category. So for example, our top 4 rows include data from sales of home goods and decor priced at $1. The next 4 rows show home goods and decor that were priced at $5. The next one is $2.50, then $10 and $15. Again, these are organized by quantity sold. So we see that our dollar items have the highest number of quantities sold, followed again by $5, $2.50, $10, and then $15 items. Each row represents items that were sold at either full price or within one of the discount levels of your color rotation system. So for example, looking at our top 4 rows, the topmost row is the items that sold for full price at $1. The second row is items that sold at 25% off that were priced for $1. Our third row is dollar items that sold at 50% off, and the fourth row is our dollar items that sold at 75% off. We can see the total quantities of items sold within this price point at each discount level, and then similar information for our $5 items, $2.50 items, so on and so forth. Looking at the rightmost column, you can see the percentage of product that sold at full price or each discount level within each price point. Now note that this percentage is based on the quantities sold and does not take into account any items that were ragged out and removed from the store because they did not sell during the color rotation. So this first percentage tells us that 90.23% of $1 home good and decor items that sold at full price, whereas 7% of sales of $1 items within the home goods and decor category were discounted 25%. So how you might use this data is to have a target range in your mind of what percentage of product you want to sell at full price. You can then compare your actual percentage of sales to those targets to help determine if you are pricing your product properly to sell within those goal thresholds. For example, maybe you want 75 to 85% of house goods that sell to sell at full price. Then, looking at this report, when you see that 90% of the dollar items that sold at full price, that could indicate to you that your dollar home goods and decor items are moving more quickly than desired, and you might want to tell your pricers to price a percentage of them at the next higher price point. You wouldn't want to price 100% of your dollar items at the next price point up, but maybe 10% of them, for example. Looking at the next price point, we see that 79% of the $5 items that sold at full price, while the rest of what sold were discounted, and that fits in the threshold of the 75 to 85%, so it looks like the $5 items are priced just about right. Same thing with our $2.50 items. And then moving down to the $10 item, we see that only 70% of the $10 items that sold at full price. This is a little bit lower than the target threshold, which could indicate that a percentage of the items being priced at $10 are actually being overpriced. They're not selling as quickly as we would like, and more of them are sitting on the store floor until being discounted than preferred. So we could take that information back to our pricers and let them know that when valuing an item and they think it might be $10, they want to price a percentage of those at the next price point down. Looking at the $15 items, we see a similar situation, where only 55% of the $15 items that are selling at full price. So again, we might want to price a percentage of those at the next price point down. I hope you find this information helpful in deciding how to price items at your store, and I recommend that you review this report periodically ongoing, as market influences may shift over time to where you might want to shift your pricing strategy over time to try and maximize revenue per item while not having items sit on the store floor too long, filling space that might otherwise be filled with an item that would sell, or resulting in loss of customer interest from having seen the same items again and again. If you have any questions, please let us know.